Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're being smart, I hope you're being safe, and we're gonna look today at, or start looking today anyway, at one of my favorite combiners, Bruticus, or a version thereof by way of Jinbao, and their KO oversized version of Warbotron. And we're gonna kick things off with this guy. It is the oversized KO of Sly Strike, better known as Swindle to most of us, and he's gonna be our focus this time around in the latest GotBot True review. Hey all, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, your most humble host, man, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, please like, comment, share, of course, subscribe while you're at it. That's right, man. Hit that notification bell because it lets you know when content of all sorts goes up here on the channel. Check out Machinery of Man, The Everything Factor, Transformers, Collectors, and the Autobot family. Have a look for me everywhere across social media. All those links, man, are in the description below. And this is Jinbao's oversized KO of their version of Swindle. I'll go through that again when we go over to the table, all the details. It's one of them long names, you know, because it's a KO of a third party of an homage type of thing. But it's good, it's well done, and I wouldn't really expect less from Jinbao. They've done great work in the past, even if it's a little ethically messy, so to speak. I like this. Is it perfect? No. It definitely has its issues. Is it outdated? Arguably, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. It's only fair first, though, that we look at all the details to do with this guy. And the only way we can do that is by heading over to the table and taking a closer look at him. And this is going to be one of those times where there's a long name that goes along with this. This is the Jinbao oversized KO of Warbotron's Sly Strike, who is an homage to the G1 Decepticon, Combaticon, team member and leg of Bruticus, Swindle. And for the rest of the time that we're here, I'm probably going to call Sly Strike Swindle. This is on loan to me by a good friend of the channel, Wayne, and I guess we're going to start off, as we always do, with the instructions first. And they're fine instructions, actually. They're big, they're bright, they're bold, and they kind of show all the steps that you need them to show. It just says robot. There's probably some stuff on it that I can't read, but that's fine. And it's double-sided. And again, there's a lot here. He also comes with this here suspicious looking little baggie that has two like yellow translucent pieces in it and another piece. They're not mentioned at all in the instructions. I asked the owner, hey man, you know what these are for? He didn't know, so they're there, but I'm not gonna address them anymore. If you know what these are for, by all means, like, let everybody else know down in the comments, because I'm stumped. He also comes with this beautifully molded little black blaster. It's pretty simple and straightforward. I like the scope on it, and this big beautiful purple and gunmetal gray, I guess, mamma jamma. I'm holding on to a 5mm peg on the bottom, but you can also flip that peg up for another, like, kind of bigger handle piece that I assume goes into his hand. And man, oh man, does he look good. He looks like Swindle. Why do I have him kind of not centered here? Because here he is next to the Combiner Wars Swindle. I've done a couple of custom paint apps on the Combiner Wars one, including his hand-foot piece. I made that like a closer color. It was a weird like yellow ochre type of shade. It's as close as I was able to get at the time, but it fills the need. I kind of like the foot matching the color of the leg. Not everybody shares that, but nevertheless, you can see just how much bigger the KO by Jinbao is. Of course, the actual Sly Strike is still bigger, just not quite this big. And so with him out of it, what can we say here and now? Not too much. He rolls tremendously well. Beautiful paint. I love the silver on the rims. I love the silver going around. The two blasters fit on the top, no problem. The only kind of gripe that I have in vehicle mode is that all of this on the side is one panel, and it locks in with a little tab back here and a circular peg that comes out through a hole somewhere here, and another circular peg that goes into another hole, and it's fine if everything lines up perfect. I do find that on this side it's a little more, I don't know, it's harder to line stuff up. There you go. That's what I'll say about it. It's harder to line stuff up. I'm going to kind of show you leg mode along the way to robot mode now, because it's just easier. It's easier to do it from vehicle mode. I guess though, before I show you the leg mode, it's only right that I show you the foot. Now I do kind of love this. Okay, the toes can go up and down. The two blasters, I guess, can go up and down independent of each other. There's treads on the bottom, so this is like a tank. Is it supposed to be a certain configuration for a certain functionality? I don't know. Again, nothing is mentioned in the instructions, but we do have the ability to do a super duper deep ankle tilt there, basically. And this is the piece that sandwiches in kind of between the legs, the knees, maybe, I guess we could say, of Sly Strike. And of course, talking of our big boy here, we're going to be able to get this guy into leg mode really pretty easily. We kind of come on the side, and it's easiest if you just pick off the tires. Then we can pick up, or we should be able to, pick up the grill. It is kind of tight in here. And it does make me a little, unnerved trying to pick it up. But we pick that up over, and then we come here to the chest piece, and you need to have the tires here disengaged for this chest piece to kind of come down and fold in. Then we can sort of fold the tires up. We have an opening slot right there. That's where the leg is going to kind of go into. We stand the guy up. Yes, I know he's gone off screen. I suppose we can remove these if you want. You can, of course, leave them there, which is nice, but just so this is easier to show, we stand the guy up, and then we kind of split the legs, and there's a little kind of section right here, and the foot will go up between that. So you bring the foot in, basically, you split the legs here a little bit, bring it up, sandwich it in, and boom, in the end here you have a leg. I'm just going to center it up so you can see the leg. And there you go. Just how big is this leg? Well, naturally, when we get the full combiner together, we're going to do a few size comparisons. But for now, that should probably be able to give you a fair idea. This, of course, is Combiner Wars Swindle in his leg configuration, so significantly larger. And here we are back in vehicle mode. Again, I don't have the blasters on him, but we're gonna go on to robot. I put things back so that you could see the whole transformation right from vehicle mode, right from step one. We begin by picking off the side here. Now you'll notice there's a hole here. That hole goes over this peg, and there's another peg up right here that goes into this hole, and there's a little peg back here that goes into this slot. It's hard to line all of that up comfortably, I find. Maybe other people find it easier, I don't know. But we pick both of those up first. Then we can, is it folded around this way or folded around, there. Fold it like that. Fold that piece in, this piece down, and we can split the roof here. And once we got that done, we can actually come here and rotate out the legs. Can even bring those pieces down for now. Naturally, the guy is starting now to get elongated and taller. If we stand him up, we should be able to come down here and open out a foot, and open out a foot, and stand him up. Naturally, he's gone off the screen. We're going to have to back things up so that we can do the upper body next. Okay, so now that we're more in frame, we can come here and we pick off this tire. It's a little rectangular tab that goes to a notch right there. Same on the other side. Pick it off. We can pick this up over and The whole chest piece comes down like that. And we bring these back up for now. You can come here to the side and swing the shoulder out. Oh, that's what it was. That's what I was mistaken with. The shoulder got to swing out first. Then we can bring that up and tab it in and rotate the arm all the way around and swing the tire behind the arm. There's a lot there. I'm going to try and show it a little cleaner on the other side, but we open this up and we flip out his hand and rotate at the wrist. That was a bit challenging to show. So let me try and do it over here if I can. So that one that we had down, we leave it down. That was my mistake. I thought that I was supposed to push it back up. Instead, we take the arm and we bring the arm and shoulder assembly out. Then there's a peg on the shoulder assembly that goes into the peg hole up here. That comes all the way around up there. Then we take the tire and it goes in behind. We straighten out the arm. We open up the wrist and we, if I can do it, flip that out. Now we can kind of deal with the rest of the torso section next. Pardon the cut there, I realized that I had his arms in the wrong orientation and I really wasn't sure which way to turn them, so I wanted to get things situated first. You will notice at this point that the chest is down lower than it should be. Indeed it is, because it's not in its correct position yet. The chest was out of the way, but now it kind of comes up and out, and you'll notice we have a big opening down here. This whole section will end up now folding down here. We just straighten the arms up again. And we should be able next to deal with, and we bring that back, getting the head up through the body. Thusly. And now his head is up, which brings us to this somewhat unsightly backpack. Basically, we want to try and fold this up as neatly as we can. That goes in behind. That goes in behind. This flips down over. This whole section comes down over. Thusly. And in the end, boom, here we have Sly Strike in all of his robot mode glory. Just look at that beautiful face sculpt. Very animated-esque with that smile, with that sly smile. Can he hold his two blasters? Absolutely. Although slotting the purple one in his hand is a little bit of a chore. Nevertheless, here he is next to the, ooh, and he fell over. The Combiner Wars version of Swindle. Yes, this guy's significantly bigger. A traditional deluxe comes up to about the waist of this guy, roughly. So it's definitely for a larger scale. And he's definitely a little bit of a different color than the Combiner Wars one, but it's still no mistaking it. Like I said, look at that face, man. The coloration, overall, it looks like Swindle, really. Is it perfect? No. We have more detailing here, such as the purple up on the bicep, the silver, the purple around his wrist, the blue knees. I mean, there's more to the coloration here than we would see on the G1 animation model. The head is colored pretty much perfectly. These tires up on the shoulders arguably should be incorporated better, and the chest being all purple, well, the tummy section should be purple, but the upper chest should actually be more of a kind of yellowish color, whatever color you call that. But it's still no mistaking it's Swindle. Absolutely not. It's a solid 8.5, maybe even a 9. It's definitely Swindle, even if somewhat stylized. The transformation, honestly, I like it. I think the transformation's great. I do wish that this could go into his arm instead of having to go in his hand, but such is life, I guess. I don't guess I can go in the other side. No, it doesn't look like it. The transformation overall is pretty great. Easy to get to leg mode from vehicle. The robot mode, not bad. The backpack's a little bit of a nuisance, but overall, the robot mode is pretty easy to get to. I'm going to say that the transformation is tolerance issues, but nothing major. Solid 9. Solid 9. So right now he's about a 9. What about the articulation? Oh, I love it when the battery dies partway through a review. Nevertheless, we have a solid 9 for this guy. The transformation is pretty excellent. Couple of little tolerance issues, but nothing major. The coloration, largely accurate. What about the articulation? Well, we have a head that can go left and right and up and not really down. I wish something locked these tires in on the shoulder better. Nevertheless, the shoulder does go freely all the way around, out to the side on a ratchet and down. Elbow to a good 90 degrees. That's on a ratchet. We have wrist rotation. We have articulated fingers. We have, getting those out of it. We have a waist. Pretty free flowing, even with the backpack. Nice leg out to the side. Other one, of course, also able to go out. Can they go more? Maybe a little bit. Not quite all the way, but pretty close. Well forward on a ratchet. I wish you could go ahead a little bit more than that, but still not bad. Back, not a lot. Not as much as I'd like, but it's acceptable. Thigh swivel. We have excellent knee, but when I bring the leg back down, this piece seems to stay out. Now, it does go up on the back of his leg, but here, I think it's supposed to go down here, and it doesn't really seem to have a spot to lock in on the KO. I don't know if it does on the actual version of this guy. We have ankle tilt to the side, we have toes, we have heels, and like it's really weird. Like the toes are a separate piece, and they can sort of detach and like come up like that. I don't really know why. Maybe it has to do with the way the legs fold up during transformation, but I didn't find that I needed to move them at all. Even with the backpack, the articulation is pretty great. You can score some excellent dynamic poses with them. A couple of slight, minor limitations. Is it perfect? No. Is it excellent? Yes. Honestly, it's a 9. Overall, this guy is a solid 9. Great vehicle mode, great leg mode, great robot mode. And here we are once again. So coloration is pretty accurate, more detail here than in the original animation, and arguably it'd be nice if the purple was more on his tummy than all over his chest, although I do like it on his chest. The head is definitely inspired by the animated version of Swindle, but outside of that, like, the kind of grays and blacks are where they should be. The yellow, I'm gonna call it yellow, I don't really know what color this is where it basically should be, broken up a little bit with extra purple accents and silver accents. It's unmistakably Swindle. The transformation is great. I still think it holds up as overall a pretty excellent transformation. Granted, the way that the flaps on the back piece sort of move around is a little bit cumbersome. And not quite as smooth as I'd like. And I don't dig how you bend the knee and then this happens. I'm sure there must be a way to lock it in on the like official, actual. Look at that. And I actually missed a step. By the way, because I missed a step, yeah, you're supposed to bring these pieces down on the side to fill in the inside of the leg. Oh well. But like a lot of it's clever. The articulation is largely effective. It's not perfect. I would totally understand if someone said, hey, that's kind of outdated aesthetically and mechanics-wise. But I totally understand as well if somebody says, you know what, he still stands as my version of Bruticus, or at least my version of Swindle, because he does make a pretty excellent Swindle. Let me know what you think about this guy. You know I appreciate it when you come by and give me some of your extremely valuable time. If you're in a position to help the channel to grow, please use the donate link down in the description. Of course, hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Somehow, some way, each and every day, you do make a difference, especially now. Please, I implore you, make smart choices for you, your family, and your entire community around you. And I look forward, man, to the next time that you and I get together to have another visit right here. Either in the live streams on Thursday nights at the stop motion premieres or the old fashioned way inside the videos.